I came across this other topic where Filmic Pro basically is kind of bitten the dust, or is on its way out based on its trajectory at the moment. Taking a step back, I actually was using Filmic Pro a bit, so there's a couple of clips on the YouTube channel that I filmed with it just as part of tests and that sort of thing. Thought it was really good. At the time, I think I got it about a year, maybe 2 years ago. It was just like a one-off payment, and you got the maybe $19 or something, which I thought was good value for an app that sort of unlocked more of the features of the phone and gave you more control over how you set the images, like aspect ratios, all that sort of stuff. So it was really good. Let you shoot log footage, so you could, really do a lot of color remastering and timing afterwards and all that. But then, I clearly remember, and this was before I even knew about any of this story that we're going to touch on. All of a sudden, it popped up with an update saying, "Oh, you're going to have to pay a subscription fee." Don't worry, anyone that's a legacy user of like the slightly previous version doesn't have to pay it for now, but if you upgrade to, if you press update to upgrade to the next version, you're going to have to pay a subscription fee. And I was like, yeah, no, that's it. I'm not doing that. I won't be doing that. And then apparently it turned out there was a whole saga going on in the background, and it would seem, whether it's competition, this other company came in, Bending Spoons, which is a bit of an odd tech company name anyway, if that's what they are. I didn't have a look on that sort of thing, but they kind of are putting it out to pasture. They're kind of making it work against itself in a way with these charges and all that sort of thing. And concurrently with this, obviously we covered the Apple event a little while back, and there was a whole thing around how they shot it on iPhone. And obviously, if you dig deeper into the behind the scenes of that, they were using the new Blackmagic app, which I've subsequently downloaded and had a look at, and was like, oh, this is actually pretty good, and it's free, and it's got even more functionality than what Filmic Pro does. So I guess obviously Filmic Pro's off my phone now because I wasn't going to pay a subscription fee for it, and the Blackmagic app's got more functionality. So I don't know. I just find it's a shame. Things change, all that sort of thing. It kind of it sounds a bit odd, but it kind of maybe it's like the old schooler in me. Like, you buy some software and you expect to be able to use it for the period that, you don't think there's an end period for it other than it being made obsolete through, software updates or whatever. Not that, it got transitioned to a subscription fee, and then, and then basically it was going to, disappear off the App Store entirely because people weren't going to use it. And I wonder how much of a trend that is, because you see, these apps that are on phones, or that you can get on your phone or your iPad or whatever, and it's not like how it used to be. I guess it's like it could be removed from your workflow at any time because of other types of circumstances, which I find a bit, it makes me nervous about spending any money on, like, say, an app to get some functionality, because it feels like it could just disappear.
Yeah, look, it's really interesting, isn't it? And before I jump on the bandwagon and start praising Blackmagic again, who's one of my favourite tech companies of all time, just to take a step back to that is absolutely true. Very early on, the original business model, and we're talking, the olden days, 5 or 6 years ago, you charged $20, $30, $40 for an app, and that seemed a lot, but you thought you were going to get it for life, and covered the costs of the development, and made probably a tidy profit as well for the developers. But of course, chief financial officers move on, and we're always looking for the next buck. And suddenly you realise that, if those people now are effectively getting a free app, we can't have that. Let's do an update and move to a subscription. So I don't think this is going to be uncommon. I think this is going to be probably what you're going to see over the next 2 or 3 years. So if you did stump up, your $30 for an app at some point, which you thought was going to be a lifetime, subscription, I think you're wrong. And that's why it's great to see competition from someone like Blackmagic, who is famous not only for the quality of their hardware, but also for their free software, which has been part of their business model the whole way along. And their philosophy is that free software sells hardware, and for sure it does. I'm a big fan, as everyone would probably know, of DaVinci, which is their editing software. I've downloaded the Blackmagic app for the iPhone, and it is fantastic. It really is good, and I can see a workflow already. This is the sort of thing that gets me back on the laptop cutting my own films.
Absolutely. It does make me wonder, like, about, like, I was thinking of my workflow using Final Cut on the Mac. Now, obviously, that's a one-time purchase that, and I did that like over a decade ago, so I've gotten more than my value out of that purchase price. But obviously, the Final Cut, when it was announced for the iPad, came with a subscription fee, well, a monthly fee. So then, like, the question is, if like, I'm thinking to myself, if Final Cut transitions to a subscription model like that, I may stop using it. I've got DaVinci on my MacBook. I haven't really played around with it a lot, but I've seen enough of it to know that it can more than adequately do the job. So it makes you wonder about these things. I would think Apple could afford to, not have to do that. But then, like you said, regardless of how many billions of dollars that they're making, there's always a couple of extra bucks more that they can make. And that's, I don't know, that's sad. We pay for subscriptions and entertainment and all of that, but I don't know, there's something about this that I just don't want to get into, because it's like, how many of these things are we going to have?
Oh, exactly. But with regards to Final Cut, Apple have proven time and time again they don't really care what the user thinks. They butchered Final Cut 10. They butchered so many things with Final Cut. Like, I think, maybe they're at the stage even where they're probably quite happy if someone else takes over the software design. And just so you know, Ben, when you install DaVinci, just like you would any old school software program, it gives you a choice. You can mimic Adobe Pro, or you can Premiere Pro, or you can mimic Final Cut. So
Oh, well, there you go.
You won't even know the difference.
Well, you know what I'll be doing this afternoon? I'll be mucking around with that. That's for sure. And of course, it's on the iPad as well. So obviously, to get the full functionality, you need an M2 iPad Pro because of the chip requirement. But it's there. You can just download it and use it. So I think it's good news all around in that respect.
Will we see an Apple Epic Games type battle here, maybe with Blackmagic, or are they okay with it? I wonder.
Yeah, well, I guess they're okay for now if they're shooting their events with it, but we'll see how it goes.